I never have seen them with such big old grins. Or is it fulfilling all their dreams? Fulfilling all their dreams.
Among Syrians.
Among Syrians.
Among simians.
Among simians. I'll always remember your oceans of love. My two lovely uncles, slain from above.
It's such an emotional song.
Emotional song for an emotional stream, my friend.
I don't think that's going to happen, Buffalo Bill.
What?
He wants you to say the N-word.
The N-word. There, I said it.
Oh.
All right, maybe he should have had the balls to be more specific.
Loophole.
Looking good, pimp. Thank you, Brick Boy. I know I can always count on you. Once we get a handful of people here, we can start the show proper. In the meantime, hello, Cam Beach YouTube. Was that one of the guys who submitted an art contest? Maybe not. Somebody with the last two letters as YT submitted. Why is Digibro next to Mumkey? We made up. We're best friends again. Hey, Diziggy.
I'm leaving.
Spicy salts. Marco. Little Marco. Hey. It's Rubio. Starts spilling the water everywhere. The N-word is the first thing I heard as I joined the stream. Thank you. Biggs, how much is it for you to flash them titties? Good question.
Well, do you want banned?
A little bit. I mean, I'm on my bingo card of getting banned from every social media platform. I'm still waiting to get Twitch to get my bingo.
Just make an alt Twitch channel and get banned from that one. That'll work.
Yeah, you're probably right. As Biggs lost weight, he's looking thinner. Biggs in the last month has lost approximately 50 pounds. So, yes, literally yes.
Something like that.
That's what approximately means.
Yeah.
If it's around 15 pounds a week, I mean, it's approximately 50 pounds, I have to assume. What porn have you watched recently?
No, don't even read theirs. They spelt my name wrong. I'm tired of this.
With the double G?
Biggs is 1 G, not 2.
They need a G for each of your girths. Double G, double girth. You got a girthy stomach and a girthy something.
Brain. I'm pretty smart guy.
So you're triple girthy from my experience. Lots of girth. Further proof eating disorders don't exist. I don't think Biggs ever had an eating disorder. He just was hungry.
I had a seafood disorder.
I thought it was a seafood diet.
No,
you see food and you eat it.
No, I just ate seafood.
Oh, shrimp and crab?
You're just being rude.
Well, Bacon Crafted Curtain says he spelled it right. And he did.
Hey, they like my premium snap. That's good.
Is it premium now?
Yeah, it's premium.
All right, everybody. I see plenty of people here, so people who come in late, they'll have to figure shit out themselves. But in case you don't know, this is a program here on Twitch called The Depression Chamber, where you, the good folks at home, anonymously submit your stories in dealing with depression, anxiety, bipolar, social ostracism, any of these things that we all struggle with and that drive us mentally crazy. It decays our minds. We never have the opportunity to flex about it in public because nobody wants to hear about it. True flexing is having more mental illness than your fellow man. And what I like about this program is that people are allowed to anonymously vent when normally they wouldn't have the opportunity to. So I have an email, Gmail box set up called thedepressionchamber@gmail.com. And right now I have 75 stories waiting in the wings. If you would like to submit yours, it might take a couple of years before we get to it, but we'll get to them all eventually. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to read each person's story, and then Biggs and I in the chat Can an analyst give it analyze it? I remember that one because I'm a big fan of lice.
Yeah.
Not anal, of course. Disgusting.
Oh.
That's where the poop comes from, Biggs.
Right.
Wait for it. Disgusting. Biggs won't normally be here, but he is quite literally snowed into my house with no way to drive home because we had a blizzard last night, so he's stuck with... We're having cabin fever, folks.
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, let's just cry together. And, well, I see a lot of people have jumped in. Hey, Hopcool, thank you for the 100 bits, my friend. If you want to hide Biggs's face, I put the alert box right over his face, so giving bits is a good way to make his face disappear.
You didn't read the message with those bits.
What'd it say?
Thanks for bringing on the real star of the show.
Blaze isn't here. Blaze is in the other room.
Where's Blaze? He's out there blazing.
Yeah, Blaze plays. Iowa is gross. I tend to agree. Sucks it snowed in gross Iowa. Yeah. All right. Speaking of anonymous, this message comes to us from, and then I just read out his full name. Okay.
You gotta read out the email.
Yeah, so everybody can tell him how they feel sorry for him. All right, you ready for this, Biggs?
Yeah.
You ready to cry? This might be your first depression chamber experience.
These are my tears from earlier. I'm refilling.
You said that those are the liberal tears you bought from Ben Shapiro's website. Wow, he just runs away? Is that your weight loss journey? Just people catch you drinking liberal tears and you have to run away in shame?
Yeah, with my MAGA hat so they don't beat me up.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay. Let's get started, folks. Can you guys hear the background music? I realized during the tier list stream a couple days ago, I thought that Spyro music was playing the whole time. Turns out you guys couldn't even fucking hear it. Can you guys hear sad piano music playing right now? Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know how I fucked that one up. I was listening to it the whole time, but they couldn't hear it.
How did you even manage that?
I don't fucking know. It looked like it was playing on OBS. I think OBS stands for oh bullshit, because it's always fucking bullshit.
Wow, that's a good one.
Thanks. I'm sure Bacon Crafted Curtain's going to quote that one real quick. All right, here we go. Story number 1 of Season 2 of the Depression Chamber, folks. Hey, Mumkey. I've been watching your stuff for a few years now, and I'm a huge fan. So as the name of the story suggests, it was no subject in the email. I don't know what you're talking about. As the name of the story suggests, I am gay. People are going to take this out of context.
Somebody clip that.
Uh-oh. Ever since I was little, I was different from all the other boys, not really being into girls or sports or anything like that. Just different. Wasn't until 4th or 5th grade I started to realize that I was gay. Around 6th grade, I felt compelled to tell my only friend in the world about this, before I even told my parents. When I eventually did tell them, my dad stopped talking to me for the longest time. And whenever he did, he would say nasty, horrible things. It wasn't until my sister, who came out, is by, I'm guessing he meant as by? No, who came out is by several years later, he start being nicer to me. Maybe he should have forced you to go to a grammar school so I could read this fucking story. That's where half the humor of this show comes from, is people who don't proofread.
Just berating them.
Well, it's like an alien trying to speak English when
Look,
I read their improper grammar word for word. Because he was closer to her and had a stronger connection with her, but he felt bad and comp. Before I even told my parents. When I eventually did tell them, my dad stopped talking to me for the longest time. And is he repeating himself? Or did I? Okay. And whenever he did, he would say nasty, horrible things. It wasn't until my sister, who came out is by several years later, he started being nicer to me. Because he was closer to her and had a stronger connection to her, but he felt bad and compelled to make amends. When I came out at school, I lost just about every friend I had. I was met with nothing but homophobic slurs and comments, and physical harassment from my peers, but also my brother too. But that's for later.
People are spamming copy pasta.
That's okay. I don't care if it's copy pasta. I'm here to... Maybe the copy pasta writer wants his story to be heard on the Depression Chamber.
Maybe he's already dead, though.
Uh-oh, well. But that's for later. Around then, I was kicked out of regular ed and sent to a therapeutic school. In addition to that, I have to start seeing a therapist that was recommended by the school. Through that, I found out I had severe anxiety and depression. But that's only half of the story. At home, life isn't any easier. Both my dad and brother have Asperger's. Don't worry, they don't beat their girlfriends. See, that it can't be copy pasta. That's a very specific reference. My dad can't read the simplest of social cues and very emotionally distant from the rest of the family. Not to mention all the emotional damage she has from having his mom die when he was 18 and had to basically fend on his own. Just about every day hear my mom fight, and the only reason my mom doesn't leave us because she depends on him financially. So she's stuck in a loveless marriage because she knows she can't support herself on her own. As for my brother, for the last 18 years, I've been his human punching bag. My brother has a history of physically violence. Imagine, if you will, a fat 330-pound monster.
Continue, please.
Oh, okay. Wailing on a 100-pound or so weakling. This is when you start punching me, I imagine. He's just describing us.
It's just not even worth it at this point.
You know what? The joke wrote itself. And that's a check that we're not going to cash.
I think it's called like giving birth to a child, not writing a joke. So if you're talking about my
Tell me
birthday-
another joke, Murray.
Oh, we got a donation. I didn't catch it.
After the story. That was my life for many years. Over the years, I've had to call the police on him multiple times for physical violence. It's his fault I have back problems to this very day. And one of the worst scuffs I've had with him, he was so desperate for money, he kept trying to pawn my stuff. He wanted to pawn my 6-year-old useless laptop for $50. Wouldn't let them take it. Next thing I know, I'm hiding behind my door to my room, screaming for my mom's help at the top of my lungs. He's banging on the other side. He breaks down the door, drags me out, and stomped on the back repeatedly. Takes the laptop and runs out of the house. I have just dozens of examples like this where he goes out of his way to get what he wants no matter who gets hurt. When I first came out, he was one of the meanest, nastiest people about it. Just about every day I would have to deal with homophobic slurs from him, calling me a faggot each and every day, telling me my parents don't love me, that sort of shit. Both my dad and brother have given me so much mental and physical torment over the years. It's no wonder I'm so depressed and have all this anxiety. Thanks for coming out, I lost over the years. It's no wonder I'm so depressed and have all this anxiety. Getting back to how a coming out ruined my life. I lost about all my friends when I first did. It's been about 7 or so years since I've come out, and I still am lonely with no friends to call my own. The only thing that keeps me from killing myself is that I actually got into a decent college. I got into the Art Institute of Chicago with merit scholarship. Probably not grammar scholarship. Really. You know what I'm saying? You catch my drift on that one?
No, I don't.
Okay. My cartoons are the only thing that keeps me going. I hope one day to pitch a show to a network or streaming service. Other than that, I have no drive. I hope one day things will get better. Each and every day I get one step closer to the edge, and no, just kidding. I get one step closer to going to college and hopefully living a happier life. I've gone through so much shit over the past 18 years. Other than that, I have no drive. I hope one day things will get better. Each and every day I get one step closer to going to college and hopefully living a happier life. That seems more repetitive. I've gone through so much shit over the past 18 years that I haven't even mentioned yet. I might write another email talking about more if you want. Hopefully, since I'm going to a liberal arts college, I might be lucky enough to find myself a boyfriend. Thanks for listening, Mumkey. I love your stuff. Keep up the good work until Asperger to go fuck himself. I think that meant to say tell Asperger.
And tell, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he was reading this into his phone and having it auto write.
Maybe, because there's multiple parts where it's like literally the same thing, like 2 sentences, just copied and pasted.
Yeah, well. Folks, if you go to the Art Institute of Chicago and you're looking for a boyfriend who you can give chiropractic help to, maybe he'll want to meet up. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. His email includes 1985 in it, so he's either going to college as a 34-year-old, or he just really likes the year that Back to the Future came out. Who could say? I'm reading them in the order that I received them, unfortunately. Ooh, woo, hubby wubby. Well, folks, do you guys have any advice for writer number 1? How do you deal with a brother who is physically abusive and a family that hates you for being gay? I think getting out of that environment and going to college and living in the dorms and being around people who aren't fucking psychopaths is probably the best thing he could do. Yeah,
it's a good start.
That's a pretty good start.
Until you have to start dealing with their stuff.
Nico Eco says, don't gay. Sun Yuk says, cut off the family. Lawanda says, get the fuck out away from that a-hole family. Yeah, I think most of the chat concurs, except for that one guy who said stop being gay. Stop being a fig. I think you misunderstood the story. He does not identify as a fruit. I don't know what you mean by fig.
Baking Crafted Curtain said, I'm gay.
What? Wait, him or you?
Him.
Ah, okay.
So, there's a candidate for you.
Oh, yeah, Art Institute of Chicago. Let's see if there was really a chat. Let's see if I can find it. What is the name of that thing? Streamlabs. Oh, great. I gotta log in. Biggs, entertain these good folks while I log in.
That's really hard.
Tell everybody.
These people can't be entertained.
Oh.
They get mad at everything.
I don't think we got a donation. I don't see one in here.
I'm telling you, it popped up over there. I saw it.
Wow. Maybe it was some bits because I don't know how to read those. Anyway.
No, it had a picture behind it, like a donation. The monkey picture.
It's not in here.
I have no idea then. Buddy.
Yeah, beats me.
Maybe it was a subscriber.
Beats my dick. Might have been a subscriber. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Unless Biggs wants to tell his depression story.
No, that's for another day.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
maybe I'll email in.
You should anonymously send one in, and we'll see if we can guess which one is you. Yeah. All right, story number 2 for tonight. I actually originally wrote this the same day you uploaded your depression chamber video and began your downward spiral. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the reminder. I thought I'd resend it since it's still relevant. I'll add an update at the end. Hello, Mumkey. I'm not sure if I'm depressed, but I know for sure that I am a sick and disgusting person and I hate myself for it. What you are about to hear are things that I have never admitted to anyone, so I'm not sure how this email will turn out. This will be less of a story and more of just me confessing to my weird and almost disturbing interests and obsessions. I'll just start this off by saying I fucking love Guro. Isn't that a Mortal Kombat character? Nothing wrong with loving him, right?
I think that's Goro.
Yeah, Guro. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has like 5 arms or some shit, right? That's not so bad. I fucking love Guro! It's not a sexual thing for me. I just really like seeing anime girls getting brutalized / killed. What, in Mortal Kombat, I assume? I didn't know there were... How many anime girls are in that game? Like 5, 6?
Something like that,
yeah. You know, Guro just goes and beats the fuck out of him. He's the final boss of the game. I don't know how to explain it, but I just like the feeling it gives me. I honestly feel sick just typing this out, but it's true. Okay, all jokes aside. If he's just looking at fucking drawings or whatever, you know, I'll make the Digibro pony defense on this one. At least you're not looking up actual brutal imagery of real life people getting killed and jerking off to that shit. Yeah. That's when you should probably get some serious help. If it's some fucking drawn thing, like, sure, you're probably a big weirdo, but you could be worse off. Like, Biggs is into weirder shit, so don't worry about it.
Oh.
He's into me.
Spicy Salts just made the connection that I'm Mario from the Travelers.
Oh, it took him long enough. Jesus Christ!
He's like, all caps, Biggs is Mexican. Biggs is Mario.
It took him like 5 years to figure that one out.
Uh-oh.
I honestly feel sick just typing this out, but it's true. Although what worries me even more is that if I saw a cute real-life girl getting the shit beat out of her, I would get that same feeling. Okay, well, I take back what I said a minute ago. Uh-oh. The weird thing about this is I know for a fact I would never hurt anyone or anything. I am so non-violent that I refuse to even kill bugs. I'm so non-racist, I'm friends with a Mexican, you know? It's,
fair enough.
It's how it works. But the fact that I get some weird pleasure out of seeing cute girls in broken states like that, it's kind of scary to me. Okay, to pause again. If you've been paying attention to our Pokemon Let's Play, we were talking about how we watch a compilation called Les Abdes Beyond, which is just it's a compilation of random internet videos.
Right.
And we were discussing about how I get special pleasure from the random clips of like women getting like hit with surfboards and like falling down and stuff. So maybe I wrote this story while I was drunk. I don't know. I also enjoy watching people get hurt. Especially when they're cute girls. Does that make me a Guro-obsessed man? I'm going to have to start playing Mortal Kombat and find out.
Let's look at your search history.
Oh, I delete that every fucking day, buddy. Good luck with that one.
Just use incognito then if you don't want anybody to ever see it.
Yeah, but I don't like the dark mode. I like my light mode, dude.
Wow, what's wrong with the color black?
Because in the black, then I can see the reflection of myself while I'm jerking off, and I can see my own shame. I need the bright screen to hide my shame.
Just turn on your studio lights.
Oh, God. Okay, where were we? But the fact that I get some weird pleasure out of seeing cute girls in broken states like that is kind of scary to me. Like, I mean, at least I'm not a furry. I guess so it could be worse. Okay. 1,000 Skeletons, thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. This next thing is pretty standard in the Depression Chamber, but I thought I'd mention it since my situation is slightly different. Like many other people in the chamber, I have an unhealthy obsession with a girl, but luckily my extreme social anxiety keeps me from ever interacting with her. We actually used to hate each other because in my freshman year I had a very mild mental breakdown on social media that got me suspended. Let's just say she wasn't a huge fan of the things I said, and I might have implied that she should kill herself. This was long before I developed feelings for her, but it's really the only history I have with her, so I thought it would be worth mentioning. I have no idea if she still hates me for that retarded shit, but she seems to have forgotten about it. Not that it really matters anyway. She's adorable, and I just want to cuddle her. If she still hates me and wants to slap me and call me an asshole, I'd probably enjoy it because I'm a freaky little goblin. Okay, so this next part is where both parts of my little story cross over. Basically, I have a few pictures of the girl I like that I stalked off her social media. I am also an avid collector of images of girls with bloody noses, black eyes, and shit. Okay. So it's not just fucking cartoons that she's looking at.
No, it's not.
Well, so because I'm a fucking weirdo, I decided to put the image of her into Photoshop and make her look like she had been beaten. I am genuinely ashamed of what I have created. It sounds like Frankenstein. And if she were to find out about it, who knows what she would think? Who knows, because he broke her nose in Photoshop?
Yeah, wow.
What she would think, because she has brain damage, because of, never mind. Don't give me a half laugh out of pity.
I'll give you a full laugh out of pity.
Okay, good. Is what she would think. Maybe she's into that shit too, which would be hot as hell. Nope.
I doubt it.
Drop that fantasy right now.
0.0001% chance.
Less than that.
Yeah.
Divide that by 100. Also, on a side note, I do not condone the actions of Asperger. Or anyone who actually beats women. Wow, what a powerful stance to take on the internet. He does not condone the actions of Asperger.
He jerks off to this stuff, but what he did, nope, that's too far.
Well, I think it's personally, I think it's really brave of him to admit he does not condone the beating of women. You know what? That's a brave stance to take in 2019.
Yeah, maybe it's he likes them like falling down the stairs, that kind of beaten state.
Well, let's find out. I like seeing women get beaten in a fictional context, but I do not enjoy the act of beating them. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. You know what I'm saying, brother? Just thought I'd let that out. Anyway, so now that I have this fucking photo of her looking like she just got done with an Asperger session, and part of me wants to get rid of it, but the other part of me wants to add it to the collection. Why the hell am I like this? Interesting, he did not send us this photo so we could judge for ourselves. I think that was a mistake. Anyway. Sorry for making you read my autistic little ramble if you even finished it. I wouldn't blame you if you stopped reading due to the nature of my story. I've never admitted any of this to anyone, so I'm not sure how you in the chat will react. I will most likely be watching the VOD since I can rarely make it to live streams. Anyway, I love the content you make and I hope I didn't freak you out too much. Buddy, you'll never freak me out. The chat, I can't control them. They'll probably freak out. I've never read anything in these that made me freak out. I don't know if I could possibly give that much of a shit.
We've seen way worse.
Yeah. We've been friends with way worse, buddy.
Yeah.
Trust me, you ain't got nothing. Also, if there is an image attached of a cute anime girl holding up a heart-shaped chocolate with a bloody nose, don't be confused. There is not an image like that, so I'm more confused that you included this part. That is one of my favorite images, and I thought I'd send it to you to give you an idea of the type of weird shit I like. He didn't send one. The art is by Ao Sora, in case you were interested. I'm keeping this part in for shits and giggles to keep the original email intact, but I've decided not to send the pic this time. It's in the old email I sent to you, though. Anyway, here's a little update since this is an old story. Since then, I have graduated high school and haven't seen the girl in question since. From what I've heard, she is pumping herself up with testosterone now, so I'd say I'm not that into her anymore. Also, I'm now a NEET with no future plans. No, my wrist was feeling a little. I just wanted I needed to stretch it a little bit.
Good.
With no future plans, which is honestly all I really wanted. I basically just stay in my little goblin cave all day, hidden away from the rest of society. I like to think I'm doing the world a favor by secluding myself because nobody should be forced to deal with me. I'm glad to hear that the Depression Chamber is coming back, and I am excited to see you in the chat's reaction to my degeneracy. And that's that story. Well, did you have your eye on chat? What was their reaction throughout the story?
Lots of spamming of copy pasta again. People trying to get me to look at my shoulders because they kept saying there's something on them.
You got a chip on your shoulder.
Oh.
No, it was a Dorito. You were eating them and you spilled a little bit.
Where's it at?
Yeah.
I need it.
The light glaring in Biggs' glasses makes him look like a nerdy anime hero. That's funny.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking too when we were setting up. I'm like,
Plot twist, he is actually Willem Dafoe. Did Willem Dafoe just graduate high school? My wrist was feeling a little unintelligible. Haha. Thanks, Bacon. You read the chat real quick. I think I saw something come in.
Somebody said I have a cute chin. That's which one?
Twizzy Empire donated to say, I could be working on an important essay that's due tomorrow right now, but I'd rather listen to Mumkey narrate the stories of a bunch of wannabe Dostoevskys. Froggo said, your cock is nice, but the circumcision has no combat advantages. Is that a quote from something?
I don't know.
In what world are people fighting with their penises, Biggs? You're a big fan of cockfighting.
Yeah, but that's chickens. Oh, no, wait, that's illegal. Yeah. What you were saying.
Okay. You know, that makes sense. Should we move on to the next one then, or should we try to give this guy some life advice? Ban anybody trying to give me life advice.
Yeah.
Guys, what is your advice for this story, man? Anything? Big's 1v1 Mumkey cockfight.
We can arrange that.
Baku Boys wrote this. Drop the Guro stuff. Yeah, that's probably some good advice.
Call the police.
If you have the self-awareness to know that you're into some fucked up shit, then you should have the self-awareness to be able to maybe get into some vanilla shit so that you don't poison every prospective relationship by photoshopping them with bloody noses and then fucking coming on it. I don't know, maybe that'd be healthier for your brain. You think?
No, we should go with Classy Star's advice. Become the Joker.
That's the answer to all of these.
Just kill the cutie pie.
Joker never killed a cutie pie.
No, I'm telling him to. Like, go Joker. And just...
Hey! No!
No.
That's not what that movie's about, Biggs.
Seek help.
No, seek hail. No, seek help. Uh-oh.
Stop saying uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay, here's a new one. I have been... ... Really depressed for nearly 15 years now. It's been a near constant struggle, but I didn't really see it as it was until like 3 years ago. Life is hell, man. Hear me out, Mumkey. I want to tell you how I got to this point. In mid-2012, I had graduated high school and I was so happy and innocent. Unknowing of most of the ... tribulations that adulthood had ahead. I decided that for college, I'd stay with my grandmother and, help her out and attend classes and stuff. Had a plan of action moving forward and things looked good. But the longer I was with my grandmother, the more my mental state started to break down. I didn't at all understand what was going on looking at it in hindsight, and that is what scared me the most. See, Grandma has BPD, borderline personality disorder, and it makes her hard to deal with long term. It's like how she words things when talking to you, like instead of, oh hey, if you can, could you help me do XXX before you finish this? Yeah.
Why is your grandma asking you to do that?
Yeah, man. I stopped doing XXX with my grandma a long time ago, man. You gotta start rejecting that shit, son. And more, when you're done with that, I'll let you help me do XXX. That sounds like how your family talks to you, Biggs. Don't they just assume you're going to help them at all times?
Yeah. That's basically it.
I know that sounds like an absolute non-issue. No, it's fucking annoying. It's an issue. But it grinds on you because, well, you can't exactly call her out on manipulative wording since she is your grandmother. Datebayo? What is Naruto's catchphrase where he says, you know? Datebayo? How do you say that in fuck it. He said, you know. I almost said Spanish when I meant Japanese. Other things she would do is just constantly talk about negative things and never cease talking about them. She could go on for hours upon hours just saying the bad things that have happened to her over and over. All this while I was a freshman in college. The stress got to me badly. I had never reached this point before and just snapped. I can't snap. Can you snap? Thank you. It was raining, and I just could no longer go on further with college and dropped out. Grandmother freaked out at me when she saw some of the vent artwork I was drawing to help get out this stress healthily and assumed I was going to do something horrible, which incidentally, she caused to happen. I can't remember everything, but I remember I was just screaming, wanting to escape the situation, clawing at myself with my bare fingernails. She called the police on me and they took me to a hospital. That was the first time I had fully gone. Like uncontrolled flight or fight response with no awareness to the situation. And it certainly wouldn't be the last. After that, I stayed with a girlfriend for a while, but that fell apart with another psychotic break that landed me in a mental hospital. These horrible, horrible experiences have left me with so many mental scars that I have entire swaths of memories I do everything in my power to suppress. Mumkey, it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I constantly have suicidal thoughts that just remind me of these mistakes and hurtful events. So much so that it feels like touching a hot piece of metal every time one of these memories just barely skims across my mind. Life feels like an unwinnable uphill battle from where I'm at, man. I haven't been able to hold a job. I cloister myself from my friends thinking that all of them would be happier if I just never say anything to any of them. There are times I have come so dang close to doing it. Life just feels worthless. I know better, but all this stuff just weighs on you, and I have this horrible feeling that life just ain't worth going on anymore. I used to have dreams and aspirations, but they're all gone now. I've been a fan of your content since back when you were still Mumkey Jones. I don't know if you'll do this one on your Twitch channel, but I hope you will. Your fan, Metal. Okay, Dios says he should call Donald Trump.
Sunkick said, kill your grandma.
Orange Disc says, it feels like touching my wiener every time I think of my grandmother. I don't think that was a quote from the story. Did I miss that part?
Jared Jam said, just say okay boomer. I think that would probably work.
Genuinely good advice.
Oh no, I said it with hard R. I meant okay boomer.
Oh no, we're getting banned from Twitch.
Uh-oh.
It sounds genuinely like out of respect for his elders, he is driving himself to insanity. If your grandmother is emotionally abusive and manipulative, don't see her as your grandmother, see her as your abuser. Blood is not thicker than water when water is the water that keeps your brain fucking afloat, my friend. Fuck that shit. And the same thing with the previous story with the abusive dad and brother. Family does not come first when the family is fucking you over. If they're driving you crazy, they're not your fucking family. Go get a Biggs. Biggs is my new fucking family. Who needs the rest of them? Patchy in the chat, he's a dickhead. I hate that kid. I told him to bring me a Coke last night from McDonald's. He got one for himself and not fucking me. What? Biggs gets me a Coke all the fucking time. Hey, Don't put up with abuse, no matter who it's from, no matter how old they are. You don't have to respect your elders if they don't respect you. Respect is a two-way fucking street, and anybody who says otherwise is straight up wrong, and you don't have to put up with that horse shit. I'm sick of it. Boomer lives matter. Biggs.
Someone also said, okay, Doomer.
Hey, kill all boomers. Biggs always coming up with the coke. Biggs lives matter.
Oh yeah, the Mexican comes up with the coke. Haha.
That's inappropriate.
Oh.
Kill the rich. Classy Star's really into Joker. Hey Patchy, can I get a coke? Okay. Do you guys have any other advice for Metal here? Other than, I guess, kill his grandma? Baron wants us to read a donation. Okay. Biggs, you check the chat. I'll check the donation. B-Man for $5. Whoa, big spender. That's gonna buy me a lot of coke.
There you go.
It'll make up for Patrick being a dickhead. It's great seeing the Depression Chamber back. Biggs being here is actually a decent addition. Well, I don't know how often he'll be here on Monday nights, but I think he's a good addition too. It's better than me sitting here talking to myself.
Somebody keeps saying Biggs wears Froggy. What does that mean?
I found Barron's. He said, you should review the original 1986 Transformers movie for Is It Kino? It's seriously one of my favorite movies of all time. You guys would like it, especially Florian. Well, Baron, it just so happens that we don't have a movie on the roster for this upcoming weekend because nothing good is in theaters. So we might actually take you up on that.
Whoa, look at those
Whoa,
gifted subs.
whoa! Hactions TV gifted five subs. Wow, congrats to, why'd you give one to Waterman? Ugh, can't stand that guy.
No, it randomizes.
Yeah, but man, bad luck. I don't even know Waterman. I'm just kidding. Hey, thank you so much, Hactions. That's you just cured my depression. Wow. Okay, show's over. Turn it off.
We've done our job.
Yeah, we cured my
Or
depression.
like that old short film you made. That's not our job.
Oh yeah, the trying to find that guy the prom
Smash
date.
cut.
Yeah. It was on random. Yeah, I know. Hactions, thank you so much, buddy. All right, here's another short story. Hey, Mumkey. I can already tell the chat is probably gonna get interesting after I mention this first fact about me, but whatever. I'm a young, in bold letters, I'm a young, i.e. under 18, transgender female who's currently just going through a major 2 to 3 year bout of depression, anxiety, loneliness, you name it. Mainly, I've been having to deal with my transphobic and hateful parents who always love to scream and yell at everyone and everything. Why are you fucking laughing?
They're spamming trap. That's hot.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at the story.
No.
Okay. My very long-distance relationship of 4 months, which is the only real communication with another human being I have now, and my crippling loneliness and isolation from people in the outside world, people not on the internet, as well as extreme gender dysphoria. I've tried to escape to my girlfriend's place of residence, but I was found out and got my ass handed to me again. Parents tried to brainwash and manipulate me into breaking up with her, into thinking that I was going to make my parents devastated and upset, even though I know that they clearly don't give a fuck about me. I just think that they don't want their shady tactics exposed for people to see. I've tried to kill myself on multiple occasions, those being me trying to slit my throat wide open, trying to blow my brains out with a loaded gun, etc. Though, judging by you being able to read this, you can already tell that I didn't have the balls to do it. Is that a pun? Is that supposed to be a joke? Either way.
I'm gonna laugh at it either way.
Yeah, that's a good one. I tried to contact a few hotlines to see if I could get some form of help or guidance, but I got jack shit from it all. Same from school counselors who just didn't take me seriously one bit. I just want an escape. I can feel the few bits of happiness still left in me being sucked from my fucking soul. I just don't know what to do from this point forward. I want to get out of here and possibly seek emancipation, but I know that probably won't happen. Nothing good ever really happens to me that much anymore. I just want at least some form of guidance, some form of consolation. My girlfriend is the only person I talk to anymore. My friends are gone, everything I had before all of this is gone. What the fuck do I do from here on out? I'm lost at this point, I really am. Yours, Ariel, P.S. I know you're not one to mention or play with LGBTQ plus topics and stuff. I just thought I had to mention it since it's a really big contributing factor to my struggles. And that's that one. Well, with the other stories, it was pretty easy to give the advice to cut your toxic family out, but in this instance, it's an underage person who was stuck living with the abusive family, so it makes it about 100,000 times more difficult, doesn't it? What do you do? What do you do, Biggs? Well, Biggs, you moved out before you were 18, right?
Yeah, I moved out when only 17.
Well, yeah. But that wasn't probably very easy.
It was pretty easy. One day I got really mad, and the next day I packed up my stuff and moved. Literally just left.
Yeah, well.
Probably won't be that easy for someone, I don't know how old they are, but...
Yeah. Well, just get a job and move out. I don't know if it's that easy, Spicy Salts. Hopskull for 100 bits says, they're not girls with dicks, just guys with tits. Okay.
Flo said, literally just go to the closest liberal arts college.
But it sounds like this person is still in high school and obviously not a legal adult yet, so they might not have those legal options available to them, right? Do you guys have any legitimate advice, or should we just not give this person hope? If you're under 18, you can't be properly charged for murder. That is some good advice. Guro porn or trap porn? I guess in the chat, put 1 for guro porn, put 2 for trap porn. That's the real answer we need.
Somebody keeps asking how much to make me kiss you.
You would do it for free. Hey, I Dream of Memes, thank you for subscribing. Okay, I see lots of 2s for trap porn. It's almost exclusively 2s. I think trap porn has this win, right?
There you go. Trap
porn for the win. Just live it, man. Yeah, I mean, obviously, as soon as you possibly can, get out of that environment. It sounds like she tried to run away to live with the girlfriend and got caught and was punished for it. In your instance, if your family tried to punish you, you would punish them right back. So, like, you just got up and left and there were no consequences.
I would have said, you know, if you're going to try and punish me, I'm just going to move further away.
Yeah, like, what are you going to do about it?
Chase me states away? No, they wouldn't even chase me streets away.
I got the numbers before you asked for them. You're probably delayed yourself, Jared. She could come to my house. Yeah, man, if you think you're experiencing genuine child abuse, the government will help you. Am I wrong? Like, if you're being literally abused emotionally or physically, you are able to get out of that situation. Unfortunately, I feel like if they don't send you to a different relative, you'll end up in like foster care or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's much better, especially I can't imagine the amount of people going through transitions, going through foster care is very good on them.
No, you probably don't get all the hormones and shit that you probably need.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It's a toughie. Government don't give a fuck. Wow, the stream is very fast, no delay at all. Is he being sarcastic? If you ever look up Gary Oldman's name, remember the R. Yeah, thanks, Jared. My friend was literally, I talked about it in the second depression chamber. My mom was in foster care. You get abused anyways. Well, I heard CPS is completely useless. Look into a halfway house for LGBT. Sounds like you just need to get sneakier and actually run away to live with his girlfriend. Like, fuck your family. You don't owe them shit. The way they treat you, you don't owe them fucking shit. Pack a bag, 3 in the morning, and get a bus ticket and get the fuck out of there. If that's what you think you need to do. You only live one life. Like, YOLO, I know it's a meme, but it's also a statement of fact. You only live one life. Why waste it with people who despise you when you could run away and be with somebody who loves you? Right? Just fuck. Right. Do you want to be, you know, an old woman at the age of 80 looking back on your life and think, man, I sure am glad I stayed in that abusive house for so long? Fuck no, you're going to think, thank God I moved the fuck out at age 16 and lived my life. Right? Think about what you on your deathbed would want you to do. That's what I do. That's why I do crazy shit all the time. I don't want to think back and be like, I sure did live a lame life. I'm glad I picked the most boring choices every day. Fuck that. Get the hell out of there.
I have some bad news. I feel like I'm doing that.
Hey, you're streaming on the internet. That's fun.
That's true.
How many people can say they read depression stories and gotten upwards of 100 viewers?
I meant in like my normie life. I feel like I'm doing that a lot.
Well, I don't know how deep you want to get into it, but you told me you're thinking about finding a new job. I mean, that's a pretty big step in increasing your own happiness, right?
Yeah.
You're recognizing you're not happy where you're working, and you say, "Fuck this shit! I'm taking my life back into my own hands."
Right.
Yeah. You can become a full-time YouTuber. Our Let's Play channel makes an upwards of $40 a month. You'll be raking in the dough.
Yeah, there'll definitely be enough to cover the bills.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, it'll cover the food bills for sure.
I'll just start streaming, come on guys, I need this money for my bills.
I wanted it so fucking bad.
I wanted it so bad.
Be like DSP, and he's like, he thinks it'll work if he lists off all the bills he has as if they're unique to him. He's like, electricity bill, rent bill, phone bill.
I've seen streamers who literally put up like a donation goal and it literally just says like electricity bill and stuff like that.
As if it's a unique situation and nobody else has to pay the electricity
bill. People
bill.
still funneling money for it.
Well, I mean, of course people are going to donate anyway, but I just think it's a stupid strategy to pretend like you're the only guy on earth who has a phone bill. Like, what are you doing? Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, this one's really short. I am glad to have the chance to vent this story of mine in such a manner, and I thank you for this opportunity. My depression story has been an ongoing battle since I was rather young. My friends abandoned me regularly. My wrist was getting a little sore again.
You want to talk about what we were talking about earlier?
No. My sister beat me up whenever she wanted to vent her own pain, and I was even nearly stabbed to death at school. Throughout my childhood, I tried many ways to voice my pleas for something to be done about any of these individuals that harmed me, if at all, but none got into trouble. And the blame was always put on myself, as I was considered an enabler of the attacks. That is fucking toxic reasoning coming from your counselors and shit. You're enabling getting bullied. What is he, Psy? It got to the point where, at the middle of my teenage years, I stopped trusting anyone altogether. I shut myself away and pushed out others who actually wanted to help solely because I was afraid they would hurt me like those that did in the past. The suffering led into my adulthood, and when I started opening up to others again, I was subjected to more of what I was afraid of, along with people manipulating me for personal gain because I was too afraid to fight back. It has been almost 4 years since I have last had a real-life friend. I've relegated myself to forums and chat rooms just to talk to others at all. Again, I thank you for this opportunity. It's cathartic knowing I can share my story without backlash with your help. And that is from insert real full name here. So, Biggs, do you have experience with the people you trust betraying you and hurting you more than you could possibly imagine? Other than me?
Oh, you just physically hurt me. I don't think you mentally hurt me at all.
I told you to put more lube on my dick.
I don't know. Like, honestly, I think I've had it pretty good with family and stuff being decent to me. I mean, you have your usual, like, family stuff where it's like stupid things come up and you argue for a little bit, but then you get over it. So I don't think I've really had any moments where it's like, one of my close friends or family like super stabbed me in the back and I was like super like broken over it.
Well, it sounds like he was even betrayed by the system in place. Even his trusted adults while he was a child just said it was his fault that he was getting picked on.
Yeah, well,
what do you do when society betrays you?
See, what I did throughout school, like, of course I got bullying and I didn't really care. Like, I just ignored it. And I think for the most part that helped me, but...
You can say you have some thick skin.
But, I think I never even went to the counselors about it because I already knew they were going to be useless. Like, what's the point in going to someone for help if you know they're just not going to help at all?
Every time I talked to the counselors, it was because they either thought I was going to kill myself or kill other people. So every time they were just full of shit. So I don't know how anybody would ever expect to be helped by a school counselor. They're fucking useless. There's a reason why they went into school counseling and not therapy, because they were not good enough at it. If they could get paid $100K a year, don't you think they would? There's a reason why they're on the government payroll for 23 grand a year, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
What do you get when you cross a Hispanic Biggs with a society who makes fun of him for being fat?
You get Mexican Joker from South Park.
Yeah. You get enchiladas.
Really? Wow. You don't even like enchiladas.
No, I like enchiladas.
You said you only like bagels.
I do like bagels.
You do like bagels. Can't trust the school faculty since they treat like a lesser being. Their superiority complex is fucked. Yeah, anybody who gets paid less than 40 grand a year, if they have any sense of ego or entitlement or superiority at all, just say okay, boomer, and laugh at them. Like, fuck off. Fuck off. You give them what they fucking deserve. My school counselor convinced me to go to college. God, I'm dumb. Goudreau, we've all been there. Well, not Biggs. I wish I was there. I wish I didn't go to fucking college. What a waste of time. A school counselor once accused me of being a hateful racist. Well, you did say the N-word on the school loudspeaker, Roger. I was there that day, so I probably shouldn't have said that.
Bacon crafted Curtin said, but I'm boomer.
And boss makes $1, I make a dime, and that's why I commit various acts of arson and minor theft on government time. What changed your mindset? You wanted to be an English teacher for a while?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that too.
It was because the last semester, when you are getting a degree to be an English teacher, your final semester is spent doing student teaching in an actual classroom, and you're the teacher.
So you were like I'm not going to say his name, I guess. It was pointless to bring up, but that guy that you...
I was like a student teacher, yeah. Yeah, that's the literal words you would say. I really enjoyed all the college courses about being a teacher and about literature and about how to study it and teach it. But as soon as I got in front of those fucking kids... it was the students that pushed you away. It was a different story. And I felt like... And maybe it's just... maybe I'm too self-conscious or I think too little of myself, but I felt like not only would I never earn their respect, but that I would never deserve their respect. And how would a bunch of middle schoolers or high schoolers respect a guy who was probably shorter than them, smaller than them? Any of them could beat the fuck out of me. I don't expect any of them to ever want to pay attention to anything I have to say. And very early on into student teaching, I realized I'm not comfortable with this. I'd rather just get the hell out of school, graduate early.
Why didn't you do that funny bit where you sit in a desk acting like a student and like you pull off the hoodie and you go up to the front?
Because they would have been like, wait, where's the real teacher? Wait, why are you pretending to teach?
So were they actually like cruel to you? Or were you just like...
I was just not comfortable.
Yeah.
I think it was all in my head because, I mean, it's always in your... Cause all the other student teachers were fucking chicks who were 5'2". So, like, if they can get the respect of the class, surely I can. I was too self-conscious and anxious and in my own head about it. So that's why I'm doing this instead.
Well, thinking back, like, if you got a lot of students like us when we were in school, you'd probably hate it.
Yeah, and there's always going to be Biggses and Mumkeys in every classroom, so...
Yeah. You could move us, separate us all the way across the class, and we're just going to scream to each other.
And we are far from the worst. I think that the vast majority of our teachers liked us better than the fucking Chads and Stacys, but still... The class clownery and buffoonery and interruptions and nonsense, it's a lot to try to wrangle up.
Trying to get through a syllabus through the year, and you gotta deal with us every day.
It's safe to say the stress of being a teacher and all the unpaid work you do, unless you're in love with the job, it is not worth the 28 grand you're gonna be making a year. Every single year since I graduated, I've made more money as a YouTuber and a streamer than my peers who became teachers have made. So I think I probably chose the more financially independent and viable route. TBH, fam.
Yeah, I mean, and you get to pick your own hours. You get to pick what you do.
I get to pick my nose, get to pick my asshole on my own time.
If you want to spend a whole week just sitting out there watching TV petting Blaze, you can do it.
Oh, I've done it.
They have to go to a building and get harassed by students all day.
They have to work. They have to dedicate 12 hours of their day every fucking day, even sometimes on weekends, to their shitty job.
And a lot of the times they have to spend their own money too.
Almost all of the time. All of the time. You have to buy your own supplies and shit.
Wage slaves, am I right?
I feel truly bad for teachers in America. Truly bad. So the ones who are decent and good people, and they're pretty rare, but we had a few really good ones. I give them all the respect in the world. The ones who are huge assholes and think that they're morally and intellectually superior because they are able to teach literature to 9th graders, fuck off. Fucking Day of the Noose is coming, my friend. I advise you to celebrate. Anyway. That's my rant about not wanting to be a teacher. We've got Baron says, I'm really glad you got someone else to play the part of the bespectacled overweight Latino sidekick, but the important question is, can Biggs rap? Well, Biggs, you're doing the pokey rap earlier, so go for it.
Sadly,
go
no,
for
I
it.
cannot. I can't even sing.
Can you do the fast part of Rap God off the top of your head?
Oh yeah, let me.
Rap God. Eminem's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
How did teachers make money during summer? Well, they don't. They're on a salary, so they make the same amount of money for the whole year. It's not like they're paid per hour.
Bruh, rant's too long.
Hey, what do you think you're here for? No, he's a subscriber. I have to listen to him. Okay, let's move on. He's right. Here's a message from a guy calling himself Sad Boy.
I'll be right while you read this.
Okay. I'm not quite sure if this is material for the show or not because I'm basically recounting my entire life story up to this point, but it is depressing as fuck and I am miserable as fuck still for reasons I will soon get into. To preface this, I am currently 18 years old. I am apparently a rape baby, which is already bad enough. My father, who raped my mother, married my mother as they, for some reason, thought it would be beneficial for me and my sister. Spoiler alert, it was not. I spent my early years locked in a room by my mother as to protect me and my sister from what was going on around us. My father was big into drugs, and I believe my mother was as well, although she quit soon after. I remember watching my father and his friend play some game on the PS2 while they snorted lines of coke in front of me. My mother and father would get into many arguments, one of which he pinned her against the wall and began choking her as young me and my sister pleaded and hit at him to stop. But no police ever arrested him despite the fact they were called many times. The one very good thing I remember my father doing for me was giving me a PS2, which started my love for gaming and served as an escape in my early years. I got big into it. I'd frequently request games and rent some from Blockbuster, which was still a big thing at the time. I played a good chunk of the entire PS2 library. My mom made the foolish decision to let my sister drop out of school at 7th grade and let me choose whether or not I'd go back to school, or whether or not I'd go to school. Of course, being a small child, I said no. What kid would say yes, giving the choice when he'd rather just play video games? This would become the worst decision of my life. It will become apparent as I continue that my mom is mentally ill to a degree, and I don't necessarily blame her due to everything she endured both as a child and an adult. However, I can't forgive her for all she has done and what she's let happen to me and my sister. My sister would sometimes be rebellious and rude. For example, she would sometimes steal money from my parents. Of course, this is bad, but the way my mother would deal with this was to back her in the corner and yell at her with as many insults as possible and humiliate her. I picked up on this as a kid and yelled at her too, which my mother never stopped. I regret this, but very much, seeing as I was a retard kid and followed my awful examples of parents. She would do this almost every time and would do the same thing later to me in life. Eventually, my father left for good in what I believe was late 2009 or early 2010. With him gone, young me believed everything would be sunshine and rainbows, and I guess for a kid it kind of was. I was berated like my sister until later in my teens, so most of the time I just enjoyed myself and played whatever video game I could get my hands on.